man. Stopping by to drop some insights about God, man, himself, man. The Alpha, the Omega, the beginning and the end, the Pantocrator, who needs no introduction. God, just wonderful. Like all words can't describe how great and awesome God is, man. And, I just wanted to add a couple, drop off, some fun facts, about God. And really it's unnecessary for those who got a relationship with him, but for those who don't yet, it just put in perspective, man, because God is really, really cool. God said he made man in his image. And it's true, literally, what I'm saying? The concept of man is made by God, what I'm saying? And it's so awesome because, God, it's it's a situation when you think about it, that's why you say, how can a man, love God but hated his brethren whom he have seen, and love God who he haven't seen? Because God is the same. It's God created all that. He made man in his image. So the mannerisms of humanity God has, humor, anger, happiness, joy, fun, all those things come from God originally. And as humans, we are, as people in the flesh, he gave that to humanity. So it's reflections of how God is in everyday life. People don't even realize it. And I say that to say this, because recently, I had in the last, couple of years, I would say, I had some real, some close interactions with the Alpha and Omega, and it's been the most awesome thing ever. I praise God, give him the glory, worship, honor, praise. And it's just the most awesome thing, man, because God, for those who know, man, it ain't necessary for me to, have to say, but, God been doing massive, all kind of works, signs, wonders, all kind of things for his people, the Christians. You know what I'm saying? It's not for those who inadvertently, trying to destroy God, or destroy or discourage his image or do anything against the gospel of Christ, because that's Antichrist. So, it's not for that. But what it is it's crazy because in recent times, of course, everybody know what the Bible say. And I noticed even in my own life, I know God looked on for years, man. He see all the things that's as far as persecution. I've been subjected to such gruesome treatments, without cause, without just totally unfair. It's not right, and it's been a long suffering situation. And I've been suffering just, following God. And I know God has been watching that, and of course we know God ain't pleased with, something like that, especially when you look at a testimony like mine, it's you just think that's not, it's just the wrong, and then how it just constantly compounded, ain't no end to it, even, to this day, what I'm saying, in spite of all the, what I'm saying, somebody could have got in and prevented it from ever snowballing like this, got constant, torture and harassments on my life. It's just it was a thorough crime. It's over 20-year-old crime, to be honest. What I'm saying? It started back when I was a toddler, what I'm saying, for things I couldn't control. It's, as far as my name, and it's just, things like that. So that was some of the initial, then over time, it just grew and blossomed out and spread into other things. They people persecutors, they created reasons, the Antichrist cult, created, it's just a lot of things, that was fabricated, and just whatever it takes to be able to still have some hold on me, so I can't ever feel happiness, joy, just because I am who I am, and just because what color I am, so it's a real messed up situation. But God seen all this, what I'm saying, and God is God, he created all races, all faces, he created everybody, equally, and God himself is made out of light. God is awesome. God is light. He's all, it's his disposition is brighter than the sun. But once you up there, it don't hurt your eyes. It's just awesome. And you see him, and God has control over that thing. So he could, he can do that. And I say this, it's like one of the most important, one of the most awesome things I noticed, man. I never, like, in my life, like, ever felt how it felt, like, you know what I'm saying, to, like, have, like, it tied into the concept of, me not knowing what help looks like. You know what I'm saying? All I'm familiar with is being attacked. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what help looks like. And it's the same kind of situation. Like, I didn't know, it's the same kind of situation. Like, I don't know, I ain't know how it feels to have anybody want to stand up for you, defend you, help you, you know what I'm saying, during situations like this. Because for as long as it's been going on, I had none of that. It was just straight getting hunted, preyed on like an animal, cruel and unusual torture, all this stuff, I didn't even deserve. And then, it turns out it was because, most importantly, my literary talent was great. And God being my father, he seen all this, and it was the most awesome thing ever, man. Because God, God speak to me. I talk to God, I talk to the Lord, and the Lord, he speaks back. And God, for one, everything in the Bible is true. It's wholesome. And God is, just, it's more to God, man, than what history depicts him as. You know what I'm saying? Like, God is, like, so awesome, man. Like, and when God is angry, you know what I'm saying, on your behalf, it's what I'm saying, if God be for us, who can be against us? You know what I'm saying? And if God is, for us, who could be against us? So it's like, when God is angry on your behalf, it's like, for me personally, it makes me feel like, of course, I'm loved. Somebody care about all the things I've been going through, and somebody has seen all the things I'm going through. And it's so cool because, like, God reminds you of, like, let's say if you had, like, that friend, or, that homeboy or that homegirl, or you had that, somebody in your life that loves you and care about you. You know what I'm saying? And something happened that's not right, you know what I'm saying, or something, then they get upset about it like they normally would. You know what I'm saying? You got somebody like that supports you and things like that. And that's how it is. It's like, it's awesome because it's like, since my inner, like, when God revealed himself, when I speak to God, it's like, it was like in succession, I see God, like, it's like God really like, you know what I'm saying, started to, like, tweak out, you know what I'm saying, about the situation. Like, it's hard to describe. Like, it's like, God is not happy, but you know what I'm saying, God's angry, but God has personality, you see, just like every other human does, you see. Because he's the author. God is the Alpha and Omega. And, I see God, and God, like tweak it out, you know what I'm saying, like a little bit about what's happening to me. But God is God. He has infinite wisdom. His timing is perfect. Everything is like that. So the time come when God go avenge all his slain saints and martyrs. You know what I'm saying? Those destroyed wrongfully. You know what I mean? And those, what's the words, you know what I'm saying? Like, the time come though. God got something special for those that, but it's just like, it's crazy because it adds dimension to the whole concept, man. It's like, it's like God is words can't describe him, man. He awesome. Like, it's like he on every level, you feel me? It's like God on every level. He everything. He could, be anything. He's everything. God is everything, literally. God is awesome, man. Just all the good, and that's what I'm referring to. And as far as I talk about the mannerism of mankind, it's like, it's just like, all the good. And then, of course, just the things like just attributes of humanity. Like, you got anger, and you got joy, happiness, sadness, long suffering. Like, all of those things, God, it makes up God. And all those things you can find in humanity. And so God made man in his image. And it mean, like, in Bible mean it literally. And if you get to know God on a personal level, then you would know, you know what I'm saying, that it ain't just like you're talking to like a space in the sky, you know what I'm saying? You're not just talking to, some concept or a fairy. Like God is like a real person. You know what I'm saying? Just like Jesus and just like the Holy Spirit, And God is the Godhead, Ancient of Days. And it's just awesome, man, just because there's no limits with God. Like, wherever he'll manifest to you, whatever you relate to the most. You know what I'm saying? But you will know it's him. Like, whatever you relate in, it's just like God is just like the alpha, man. God is like the boss, man. Like, try to like conceptualize it, but I think only way somebody can know if they have their own relationship with him. But yeah, man, it's really, just breathtaking, because, and you ain't gotta have no special anything to talk to God, man. No ceremonies or nothing, you just talk to God. That's why he sacrificed, his son, so humans got that direct line of communication with him again. And that's the situation. So, but yeah, it's awesome, man, to see, you know what I'm saying? Because I know God see everything that's happening, but God is like, it's just God will remind you of like that father figure. You feel me? Like you got a father in your life, and then, somebody, something happened, something happened that's not right and things like that. He got concern towards you, and did concern towards you, and if you're, and if it's too bad to have, anger about the situation, just to let you know that you relate and understand what you're going through and where you coming from. But it's like, just like I talked to you, it's kind of like that same kind of, that God is like, it's, like I say, he reminds you of all facets. You know what I'm saying? God is comforting, kind, compassionate. That God loves, those who fear him and his people. So it's just like, it's awesome, man. But at the same time, a day and 1,000 years is the same to God. But it's like God is more, aesthetic than like he's depicted. A lot of times it's like God is more active. God has his throne. He always on his throne. Don't get me wrong. But God, he walks, God, what I'm saying? God is active, man. And it's just amazing. He always busy, on behalf of, those that love him and listen to him, obey his word and commandments. So just the coolest thing ever. It's a lot of God recordings I'm gonna do though, man. Like I've been planning on doing. This just like, man, one of the first. Actually, I talk about God all the time, but like just recordings just about that, just about the Lord, that's going to become more of a regular thing. It's awesome. But, it just changed the perspective though of God, for people that may, for those that may not, may not have an accurate perception of him, God is like awesome, man. It's like he I don't really, man. You can't describe him. That's God. He's just awesome. He's worthy to be praised, worshiped. And he let you know he care about you. What you got going on, and he there to comfort you. When you feel like, what I'm saying, you ain't got nothing to nobody, then rely on God. You could tell anybody who got a personal relationship with him, they could tell that he everywhere in humanity, man. Like it's just all the greatest things, all the greatest attributes of the greatest things of mankind, it's in God. You got comedy, you got creativity, it's all these things. You got like motivational speakers, dissertations, just all, poetry, that's in the Psalms, testimonies. Love, first and foremost, love. God is love. But it's so awesome though, man. God is like more than enough for everything, man. Like all the good vibes that you could imagine. Like it just comes, it's just all in God's presence. All you got to do is just be in his presence, and you experience like all the good vibes. They just come out of nowhere and they just be on you. You know, it's just like, you be aware of it. You know, it's like, it's awesome, man. I'm just saying, not just a little taste of what heaven is like. You know what I mean? Because it's endless possibilities in God anyway. And then he knows what everybody like. You know, like as far as what kind of energy, you know, what kind of, you know, what makes somebody happy, what gives them joy. You know, God knows all of that. You know, it's awesome, man. But yeah, man, it's awesome, you know, because you see like God, you know, God, like he encouraged me, you know, motivate me, uplift me, empower me, you know, strengthen me, you know, and he'll say like a couple words to me, you know, to let me know he there, you know, but then that's it. But then you can sense though, you know, just by God's like his tone and his voice, you can sense that, you know, he you know, like it's kind of like when somebody tweaking, you know what I'm saying? Like they say people I think that mean like when people, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like it's like a concept of, because I don't know, people used to be talking about, like they used to say glitching and all of these kind of terms. It's kind of like that, you know, it's been like that. Because you see like, and me knowing the pain I be in like all the time, you know, I'm alone suffering for over 7 years already. And then it's still over. It still ain't over. You know, it's still things that happen. They still destroy my sustainability. You know, my proof ain't meaning nothing. They still trying to force me into exile. They still doing all this stuff secretly, below the radar, slick, cunningly, deceptively, you know, as if I don't have wisdom and don't understand. You know what I'm saying? They just constantly, you know, pushing towards that, you know. And then if not, then they got these, you know, people they put in positions in order to facilitate my destruction. You know what I'm saying? So it's either way, it's the continuation of, you know, a 20-year crime with my exile or my destruction or my murder. See, God know the whole picture, you know, and he aware of it. So, but nobody's smarter or wiser than God, you know. But you see in the Bible, it's just like, I mean, everything just tied together perfectly because God is perfect. He already knew in advance how things were going to be because he knew the devil was in the earth. But he also said he's going to create a new earth, you know. So those saints don't lose heart, don't lose hope, you know. But there ain't no end to his greatness. But yeah, man, I wish I could just, you know, it's so much I wanted to do that I couldn't do because of, you know, I was always so busy fighting for my life. But to be honest with you, before, you know, the last 7-year period of my life, you know, I was already in fragments and tatters, you know, as far as like for my purposes and, you know, what God wanted me to do later, you know, that was sabotaged early. Because somebody saw the power of God over my life. And either they envied that or they just mistook it for evil. But they did whatever it was, that pretty much sealed my fate. And my life was over at that moment. You know what I'm saying? Even though I was young and harmless and innocent. It mattered not. It's just the fact that, you know, the power of God was supposed to be on somebody of my, you know, likeness, I guess. So, I mean, I don't know. But something drove people to do that. Maybe they exploited it. They made a huge mistake, though. I ain't gonna lie to you. You know, they made a huge mistake. And it's just like the most awesome thing, man. Because God, like, then just make you think all the times you've been in your life, be like, God been there the whole time. And God ain't just some picture, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? No internet picture or, you know, just no depiction. God is like, it's awesome, man. It's like, He, like I'm saying, you look right at him every day. You know? You look right at him all the time, man, in people. You know? He made man from the dust of the earth. And from man, he created woman. You know? And he models everything after that. Like, I'm telling you, man, God is like the ultimate intellectual. Like, some don't even realize how sophisticated God is. Like, you can't really, because it's way beyond human comprehension, to be honest. But every now and then, he give you insights. Or he use people to give you insights that he shows. So it's like, you know, it's awesome, man. Glory to God, worthy to be praised and worshiped forever and ever.